I think Snowflake's IPO indicates that the appetite for risk for IPOs is still very high, even in this market. The company itself checks a lot of boxes for investors. Superior growth, cloud storage, data analytics, customer retention is very high. It saves clients money. The only con, if you will, is the valuation. And even that, I think you can make an argument that if the growth continues, the valuation may actually look cheap at current levels.
Right, but even so, if you run through your numbers, where would you place fair value for the business? Where would you look at entering the business? At what price point?
That's a great question. One of Snowflake's biggest competitors is Oracle, and Oracle is an on-premise, cloud, on-premise data warehousing, whereas Snowflake is, off-premises, data warehousing. Oracle's valuation is 185 billion. The valuation for Snowflake's about 70 billion. So in theory, more and more customers are actually moving their business from on-premises to off-premises. So therefore, it's potentially, you could see the shares double from here as long as the company continues to grow as it is and find their products and services even better than that of Oracle's.
Speaking of Oracle, King, I mean, how material do you think this bid around a partnership with TikTok's U.S. assets is? Because earlier this morning, your time evening in the U.S., we heard from President Trump basically saying he didn't like the idea of Oracle just getting a minority stake. He seems to have some reservations around this. Others we've heard from, though, say, look, this deal would be nice to have, not a must-have for Oracle. How do you think it ultimately plays out with the stock price?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think Oracle is looking for growth drivers. Their business is mostly through the data warehousing, as we discussed. It's a good business, but it's not a high growth business. So I think there'll be eventually a deal that we reach for Oracle, perhaps to take a larger stake in TikTok. But then what they're getting out of it is some interesting technologies that could be useful for Oracle's business going forward. So certainly, I think it's something that Oracle's looking to diversify their businesses and looking for things that have a higher growth trajectory than just their database business.